Gus O'Brien had always loved horses. From the time he could walk, he would toddle out to the stables, his small hands reaching for the soft muzzles of the ranch's horses.
The ranch sprawled over the countryside like an endless sea of grass and trees, with herds of cattle grazing under the wide, open sky. Guz's father, known to everyone as simply O'Brien, was the heart of the place. O'Brien was no ordinary rancher, his wealth was immense, but what made him truly special was the way he shared it with the people.
His ranch produced more than enough milk to feed his own family and his workers. So anyone who came asking for help left with bottles of fresh milk. Poor mothers from the nearby village came with their children in tow, praying for him as he handed them bread, vegetables, and sometimes even extra clothes.
It was said there wasn't a hungry child or a freezing home within miles of the O'Brien ranch because of his generosity. The ranch had an abundance of coal, enough to keep every family in the community warm through the coldest winters. O'Brien allowed anyone who needed it to take as much coal as they could carry, and his kindness became legend. Despite all this, O'Brien carried a sadness that only his son Gus seemed to notice. Gus had never known his mother, and every time he asked about her, his father's face would cloud over, his shoulders sagging as though a weight he couldn't bear had settled on them.
"Where is she, Pa?"
Gus would ask, his voice innocent but tinged with curiosity. O'Brien would bow his head, the lines on his face deepening with sorrow.
"The story is dark, too dark to tell, son. I thought so much kindness would atone for so much sin I did. Gus, I have been bad. Forgive me, please don't make me say it."
And then, without fail, he would clutch his chest, his breathing becoming shallow, and he would weep. Gus, who could never bear to see his father in tears, would stop asking. Life on the ranch was otherwise a dream for the young boy. He spent his days riding across the vast plains, the wind in his hair and the thunder of hooves beneath him. The ranch workers adored him, just as they did his father, and taught him all they knew about ranching and caring for horses. But as the years passed, Gus's longing to know the truth about his mother grew stronger.
One winter evening, after a long day of work and watching Pa hand out food and coal to the villagers, I found him staring into the fireplace, his eyes distant. The ranch house was warm and filled with the smell of freshly baked bread, but there was a chill in the room. "Pa," I said quietly, sitting beside him, "I won't ask you about Ma again. I see it hurts you too much, but I need to know. Why does it pain you so?" I sat beside him, the fire crackling softly as the winter wind howled outside. Father and son spoke of her often, imagining what life might have been like if she were still there. And together we carried on O'Brien's legacy of kindness and generosity, our bond stronger than ever before.
"Your mother was the most beautiful woman I ever saw. Long legs, graceful neck, eyes that laughed, a smile that lit up the world. She was beautiful within and without. She was betrayed by her own mother, who sold her into slavery to the powerful man of the East, who never ceased to exploit her beauty for personal gain."
Then suddenly, Pa got lost in thought. He remembered a familiar voice.
"I will kill you before you dare to tell the story."
That monstrous man bellowed. Suddenly, there was his familiar scent.
"Run, run, run, Gus, he is here. He's worse than the devil. Hide!"
"Who? Father, you are scaring me!" I trembled. Suddenly, Pa reached for his rifle. I ducked, but it was too late. Shots rang out and Pa was on the floor. I wanted to run, but realized I couldn't move. Something was wrong. Everywhere was dark, and I couldn't move. Neither could I shout.